Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for Fantasy Premier League content for the 2022-23 season. My name is Dan and welcome to the Game Week 5 team selection video. Yes, it is deadline day today. I realise I'm uploading this super late, but you know, it's been really difficult to squeeze all the content in a shorter period of time. But there we go, guys. If you do enjoy this team selection video today, please do leave a like and please do subscribe as well for plenty more future FPL content. Without further ado, guys, let's have a look at our Game Week 4 scores. Okay, so Game Week 4, I think, actually went kind of well. I mean, 72 points in total there is actually not a bad score at all, really. Obviously, this is a pretty good score without having Erling Haaland in my team as well, which I think that's a small dub. And it's one of those nearly moments in many ways, because if Kane had scored that penalty, you know, we know Kane, I think he scored 21 consecutive penalties, and this one he so happened to miss, he would have actually matched Haaland's score, and then we would have been looking at this team and thinking, hey, that's, you know, this is all coming together now. The season is all coming together. But yes, we did still get a nice green arrow. Unfortunately, my -4 transfers, bringing in Rodrigo and Martinelli, didn't pay off in the short term. So it didn't pay off in Game Week 4, but I'm still very glad I've got those players and got in on those players ahead of their price rises. But of course, the week I transfer out Saka is the week that Saka outscores Martinelli. The week I make the swap, it just had to happen. It was obviously going to happen. It's just one of those things, isn't it, whenever you make those kind of moves. But yeah, in general, I'm pretty happy with my score. Raya, again, being an absolute save machine and a bonus point machine as well. James, again, when he goes into those attacking areas, you can see he is just a points magnet. In general, I'm very happy, particularly with Gross, the differential there in my team. And I'm sure a few more people will be jumping on Pascal Gross in the coming game weeks where they have some phenomenal fixtures at Brighton. But let's have a look at how I'm going to set up for Game Week 5. Alrighty, guys, 1 free transfer, 0.3 in the bank. Let's line these players up. So in goal, we have still got Raya, still a player I'm very confident in. I'm really enjoying the fact that he's making so many saves. I know he didn't keep a clean sheet last game week, but yet he still got 6 points. And I think that just shows you as soon as Brentford start adding those clean sheets. And maybe I'm kind of being a little bit foolish here. I'm thinking, well, surely the clean sheets are coming for Brentford at some point. But you just know that at any given point where Brentford do keep a clean sheet, we're going to get a really good score from Raya. We're going to get those 9 pointers, those 10 pointers, maybe even those 11 pointers from a goalkeeper, which is very rare that you see that unless we get penalty saves. And it's very difficult to predict when penalty saves are going to happen unless your name is Dean Henderson. But we'll move on from that conversation and go into defence with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Newcastle up next. And although on the face of it, you might say this is a kind of a slightly trickier game, but I actually think Newcastle have shown some fragility so far this season. I don't think, yes, they've got some you know, impressive results, but I don't think they're quite all that we hoped they would be in a few respects. I think their defence has been a little bit weaker than I expected it to be, and I think also their attack has been good, but the fact that they have got a few injuries now. Wilson, Sam Maximin is a doubt, isn't he? Trippier is potentially out as well. Bruno Guimaraes is potentially out as well. So they've got a few injuries to some key players in there. So yeah, for that reason, Ishak is probably going to be thrown straight in up front. Is that going to gel straight away? I think this is the best time to play Newcastle in a way, just at the point where they've got a couple of players just not quite returning from injury. They've got you know, new players coming in that haven't quite fully bedded into the team. I think Newcastle have a very good season, but for Trent, I think this actually could genuinely be a clean sheet here if it does turn out that those key attacking players are missing from the Newcastle team. I think they might struggle to score goals. So yes, I'm very happy to double up on Robertson. So finally, Robertson actually got some FPL points, didn't he? So yeah, maybe this is the start of something. But yeah, Trent, Robertson are playing in those attacking roles. If they can add some clean sheets, they've already added 1 clean sheet with a game, the 9-0 game. I mean, I think it could be pretty good. I think it could be pretty good in these upcoming fixtures. I like the look of some of these fixtures from a defensive point of view. Yeah, I think it could work out well. So let's see. Cancelo next. He's playing against Nottingham Forest. I know a lot of people are selling Cancelo, but again, the same situation where everyone was selling, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold and selling Robertson ahead of a game against Bournemouth. It's the same kind of vibe when you're selling Cancelo ahead of Nottingham Forest, in my opinion. So I'm confident about him in this game. I do agree that Cancelo is maybe not providing as much value as we'd hoped. You know, clean sheets are really all we're getting from him, and his underlying numbers are not particularly great. So maybe when we're getting towards wildcard territory, and we are almost there, we might think about switching out Cancelo. But for now, I'll take the clean sheet points over the next couple of game weeks, I think. Next up, we've got Reece James. Please, Reece James. Please, Thomas Tuchel. play Reece James at right wing back because he really can get so many points when he's in that position. It's a decent fixture against Southampton as well. So please, he's like the best attacker, and you're playing him, you know, in a like right centre back. Come on, play him right wing back. Hopefully Fofana is going to solve that problem though. Koulibaly when he's back as well. So yeah. James, thumbs up. Looking forward to seeing what is to come from him, because I think the trajectory is going to be a positive one. Mo Salah. Let's talk briefly about Mo Salah last game week, because I know probably a few of you guys, you know, a bit frustrated by the fact that Liverpool won 9-0 and Salah didn't get a single goal return. That is just unimaginarily it's unlikely. It's just such an unlikely thing to happen. Like, it's like it kind of in the factors of millions unlikely. But it did happen, and Salah had a couple of really good chances to score. He didn't put them away on that occasion. In future occasions, he might put them away. You know, I still think he's a very good player, and I don't think we should write him off just because of that game. You know, his team did very well. His individual performance wasn't exactly a bad individual performance. Yes, he missed a couple of key chances, but you know, in general, I don't think he played badly. I don't think she showed a lack of ability, or a lack of you know, positioning, or a lack of opportunity. There were some positive signs there. It was nowhere near the level of his teammates, don't get me wrong, but you know, I think that's the comparison we make, don't we? So I'm still not giving up on Salah. I think he could do well in upcoming game weeks. Rodrigo, a player I brought in last game week for this run of fixtures, really. I wanted to get ahead of his price rise, and I wanted to get him whilst he was in form. Didn't work out against Brighton, but certainly after the Brighton game, I am feeling confident again, so I think he can do well. He's a shots machine. He's taking so many shots right now, so that's really important, and we're not sure if Bamford is going to be quite ready yet as well. So maybe he gets on penalties. Maybe he's still playing as a striker, but who cares? He's going to take so many shots either way. Martinelli next, the cheap version of Saka, who didn't work out last week, but Martinelli's still looking really good, still playing pretty much as a striker for that Arsenal team, and that's what we like, isn't it, really? The fact that Martinelli is oftentimes playing ahead of Jesus, you know, being the last man, trying to make those runs in those dangerous areas. And Aston Villa are a team that have shown some defensive fragilities, so I think Arsenal can score some goals. I think the double up on Arsenal attack is going to be good this week. We've got Pascal Gross, an absolute machine right now. I just don't understand. When did Pascal Gross become such a phenomenal football player? Like, he was always, like, you know, a decent player, but to get these numbers, not just the actual numbers, the underlying numbers, everything about him is looking so good. Might be the change of position, to be fair, but he's undroppable right now, and he's got some amazing fixtures coming up. So I'm pretty glad that he's still kind of differential, and let's see how we get on with him. But yeah, feeling really happy about Pascal Gross at the moment, and confident about tonight, really. We've got Kane next. Yeah, like I say, I know a lot of you guys will be saying you have to swap Kane for Haaland, and I understand why you're saying that, but if Kane scored that penalty, no one would be saying that you should swap Kane for Haaland. And I think the fact that Haaland is probably going to be rotated soon, like at one point over the next game, it could be this game week, it could be next game week, it's more likely to happen one of the next 2 game weeks. Haaland is probably going to get benched, and after he gets benched, I think that would be the moment that I jump in on Haaland, because I do think Haaland is the better FPL pick in general. I have to admit that, like, it's kind of been proven, hasn't it, that Haaland is the better FPL pick, but it's about getting on him at the right time, and I believe the right time is directly after he's been rested. Hopefully that's going to give him, you know, a second wind to play a few games consecutively. But whilst that benching is looming, it's not the right time for me to make the move personally, but that's just a personal thing. Like I say, these videos are not meant as FPL advice. It's just I guess a window into my brain, I suppose, and what I'm kind of thinking with my FPL team. So yeah, do as you will. But yeah, Harry Kane for now, I'm very happy with him. I am very happy with him. You know, he's outscored Salah so far this season, so I can't exactly complain. Jesus next to finish off the team. Like I said, Aston Villa, you know, should concede a couple of goals to Arsenal at least. Arsenal still on their 100% record, and you know, you just know that Jesus is going to be a huge part of everything that they do. Didn't get any returns last game week, but again, I don't think it was because of a bad performance. Perhaps didn't get quite as many opportunities as he had done in game week 1 through 3, but the underlying numbers are still very good, and we expect Jesus to be at the heart. You know, if Arsenal are scoring goals, we're expecting a Jesus goal or assist. Let's see what happens there, I suppose. Onto the bench, guys. We've got Ward. He's never going to start for me, as I keep alluding alluding to. We've got Patterson against Leeds. Not a bad backup, I suppose. We've got Andreas against Brighton. Brighton are just too good defensively for me to be convinced that Andreas will get any attacking returns there. And Archer, the third man on the bench, forever looming on the bench, but an absolute legend for sticking around and just being happy to take that third bench slot for me. So shout out to Archer. Thank you for occupying that spot for me all this time. You're an absolute Donny. So there we go, guys. That is the team. We need to decide if we're going to do any transfers. And I can tell you, I am not making any transfers this game week. I like my team. I want to bank the transfer. I want to roll the transfer. And I'm kind of hoping that Haaland gets benched this week, because if so, that would be great. Obviously, because I don't have him. But also, that would mean that I can go into next game week with 2 transfers, swap Kane to Haaland, do that, and that would be the right moment to do it, in my opinion. If not, I'll wait another week and perhaps do it then. But there we go, guys. Let's add a captain to this team. We do need a captain. Salah is going to be the captain. I just think this weakened Newcastle team right now that hasn't actually been quite as good defensively as we hoped they would. Might actually concede a few goals. Salah at home as well. That always helps, doesn't it? And yeah, we'll put the vice captain on Harry Kane, because, like I say, if what could have been last week for Harry Kane, if he scored that penalty, he's on like a monster haul, and we're all raving about him. But you know, maybe that'll happen another week. Maybe that'll happen against West Ham. West Ham haven't exactly been great so far this season, but perhaps we won't talk about that. Right, there we go, guys. That's my team. Like I say, I'm happy with it. I'm happy to roll the transfer. The team is looking good. We're in good shape. We're going to hopefully start moving up the ranks slowly but surely. We will get there. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you do enjoy the content in general, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe as well if you're new around here. I'm enjoying these team selection videos because I'm enjoying the challenge. I know that my team has not performed as well as I hoped it would, but it's an interesting challenge, and I am genuinely enjoying it. So yeah, as long as the other like more advicey videos are working for you guys, I'm not too worried if my rank is not phenomenal. But as long as things are going in the right direction, and as long as it's still fun, which it is, then that's all good, isn't it? Don't forget to join me on the deadline stream. That's going to be later on, 1 hour before deadline. We'll go live and we'll answer as many questions as we physically can, and talk about all the key topics ahead of Game Week 5. But aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching once again, and I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.